What's going on, everybody? It is 8 o'clock on the East Coast, and it is time for Proper Royals Live. I'm Adam at Proper Royals, and that, depending on how it puts the picture through, is Mark from 403 Fauna. I really appreciate you being here tonight, Mark. Just from what we see on the screen, we got a lot of understanding to take in about your world. I'm pumped you're here. You just passed 300 subscribers. Congratulations on YouTube. And we're going to do a little celebrating on that and hopefully get you a little bump tonight. Everybody stick around. We're going to hit the music and start this show. Mark, thanks for being here. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing well.
My pleasure, man. I really appreciate you coming on. And I hope I've made this clear to everybody, but like the guests make it easy for me, even if you don't even really know what we're going to have going on, because it's conversation among people that haven't met, but we have like interests. And something that struck me last week too, that I got really thinking about, is somebody left a comment and said, hey, I know this isn't a Q&A, but maybe you could talk about that. Screw that, guys. This is a Q&A. Like, might not have the answer, but somebody else will. Mark might have the answer, or we go, hey, that's something cool that we want to learn about in the future. So don't be bashful. Jump in. And at the very least, say, hey, I love saying hello to people and seeing who's here. I want to say thanks to John at Anticlown for joining us tonight. You are almost always here. Not almost. I think you are always here. And John, you said it was time for Proper Royals and Wine. You are up my alley, man. The guy of the restaurant world. I am a sommelier in real life as well. And the quotes are the real life, not the sommelier. That is what I do. Pedro, thank you for joining us tonight. I think that you're new to the show, and I really appreciate you being here. I'd love to know where you found out about me and how we connected. That helps me. I'm just a sponge for metrics and learning and figuring out how it comes together. So, Mark, welcome. Give us the elevator pitch on 403 Fauna, man. Tell us about yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be on the show. I've been a big fan of yours probably since the start. And my name is Mark Jensen. I am a science teacher, high school science teacher by day, and a fledgling ball python breeder superhero by night. And you may see this weird little critter hanging in the back here, but he's kind of the one that got me started in all of this. And yeah, I'm excited to be here. Adam, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. We talked on a YouTube comment like 6-8 weeks ago when I was just kicking around the idea of a show. And, you know, Mark and I, we were just talking before we went live too. And the cool thing about YouTube and this world that we live in general is that we can meet people with similar interests that I hope we do, but we may never be able to have a cup of coffee or grab a beer together, but we can hang out here in that way. But you were, I saw one of your videos and I was like, this guy's down to earth. He's a humble dude that's into what he's doing. And there was no like front, there was no persona, there was no, you were coming through. And I was like, man, I want to talk to that guy. And so I'd messaged you and I probably, and this is when I was getting excited about doing the show. I was like, we should just start a show. And you're like, yeah, I don't know if that's the time, if the time's right now, just yet kind of thing. And I was like, all right, I'll slow down. But anyway, I appreciate you being here. I want to know more about your story. We got Steven and Courtney from Leviathan Snakes in there. DG Reptiles. Hey, DG, how are you, man? I appreciate you coming over. I think DG and we met on a different live stream, Pythons and Exotics show, which those guys were cool. And they really gave me the motivation. And they're great, but I was like, why not try it? These guys are doing it. Those guys were doing it 7 nights a week. I could not believe how dedicated they were. Holy cow. Although they've since ended that show, so maybe that's not a good plan. I'm not sure on it, but it's good to see you guys. So, Mark, I got to tell you, you as a teacher, first off, thank you for what you're doing with the kids. It takes a it takes a certain dedication, if not sainthood, to do that. I have a degree in history and secondary education, and I chose to sell burgers for my whole life. So I really appreciate it. And as a dad of a 9-year-old, I appreciate it even more. So
Thank you.
your turtle, and maybe that's not the right word, I'm quite sure it's a turtle, is in all your videos. It's in your logo. I don't even want to spoil it. Like, there's great, yeah, he's on your shirt. There's like, why don't you tell us about it? And I might have some questions along the way. And I know it's not ball python related, everybody, but how cool is that? How many of you have a turtle like that swimming around in your reptile room? You know, so tell us what's up with the turtle there, Mark.
Yeah, so I've, just like all reptile keepers as a kid, I love them. But my jam really was turtles when I was a kid. And I would pray at my bed at night. I would say, please God, give me a turtle. And, it was my start on my love for reptiles. And I've always wanted a pig-nosed turtle. I've seen them in the pet stores throughout, since I was a kid. But
Yeah.
they always looked way too hard to keep and too expensive. But there was this local pet store here in San Diego, and they're closing down. And my teacher buddy called me and he said, you know what, check out, maybe you could get a good deal on Aquarium. But I wanted to go there because I know they had 2 pig-nosed turtles, and I had to get at least one of those. So I went over there, I explained my situation, and I want to apologize first. I have a sick dog right now. And
that's not the pig-nosed turtle. That's the respiratory infection on the dog, right?
But
not to make light of it, sorry.
I went there and I told him my story, and I was expecting, because he would always change the price on the turtle. At first, it was like $10,000, and then I went there and I made my pitch, and he told me $500, and I was like, I'm gonna jump on the turtle. And so I got the turtle. He's been in my classroom for 10 years, and since COVID happened and we had the pandemic year last year, I had to bring him home, and he's here in my converted garage now. And actually, would you guys like to get a close-up of him right now?
Yeah, let's check him out.
Okay, I'm just gonna move my computer around.
Okay.
And excuse my dog here. Okay, Porkins, let's see if we can get an up close of you. Actually, right here. He actually really loves being pet.
Yeah.
He has a layer of skin over his shell, so it's quite sensitive. And one of my students actually worked with him in being picked up. And you could actually pick him up and see his pig nose right there.
Yeah. Man, so how old do you think he is by the best of your knowledge?
The pet store owner told me that when I got him, he was 7 years old.
Okay.
Get my computer back over here. And I've had him for 10 years plus 11 now. So he's 18, ready to vote.
Nice.
Yeah. And
how long will he live for?
I heard that I've heard various ages from like 40 to 70 years old. So
cool. Very
they'll be around for a while.
Yeah. And that's freshwater I'm taking it, or saltwater?
Freshwater.
Fresh. Yeah. Okay. And where's their native habitat?
They are from northern Australia, as well as Papua New Guinea, which is an island north of Australia. Of course, most of them come from Papua New Guinea because Australia doesn't export animals. So he's likely from Papua New Guinea.
And is there any captive breeding programs with them, or a hobby to that, or not really?
They're trying, and I've heard of a few successful attempts at that. In fact, the New York Aquarium actually just randomly babies popped up, and obviously there was a breeding that occurred there. So,
So this is scientists and aquariums messing with it rather than, I mean, I guess amateurs are messing with it too, but that are having success with it.
Yeah.
And
it's really interesting how their eggs hatch, because they will lay them on a hill, and then when the rainy season comes, it washes the eggs into the water, and the eggs get submerged, and it basically starts suffocating the babies in there.
Yeah.
And that triggers them to hatch. And so they hatch during the rainy season. So that's why it's kind of difficult to captive breed them.
I would say so, yeah. Okay. I wonder what the structure of the setting was at that place that did get them. As it would be a interesting study
Yeah.
to see what they lucked into.
Yep.
Well, thanks for sharing. What was the name? Porkins.
Porkins, the Pignosed Turtle.
Porkins. Now, hang on. Did I see? Did? If you tell me no, it's going to make me sound really, really silly. Did I see that turtle eats hard-boiled eggs?
Yes. he will eat anything. My students threw Cheetos in the tank, and he ate Cheetos. They asked me first, and I allowed them.
No, of course. But so how did you land on hard-boiled eggs? I mean, I don't know. Is that what turtles eat? Obviously not in the wild, but like domesticated?
Yeah, there are some people that feed their turtles eggs as a source of protein, and
okay,
he eats anything, so I figured he'd chomp it down.
Yeah. Nice. And how many gallons is that tub there?
This is a 300-gallon Rubbermaid.
300. Okay.
Yeah.
That's bigger than I thought. All right. Man, very, very cool. That's the first non-ball python that's been on the show, other than, humans, of course, which.
Yeah, let's get to the meat of the show. Let's talk some ball pythons.
All right. Well, how about, speaking of ball pythons, which your channel focuses mostly on them lately, but you just got to 300 subs, which is awesome. And I don't know why we give ourselves these like benchmarks that don't really mean 300 is not that different than 299 or 301, but it just feels nice,
Yeah.
So where do you want to take your channel? What do you have going on? What's your focus on there? Tell us about that.
Yeah, my channel originally was started, of course, for Porkins, the Pignosed Turtle. And through distance learning last year, I had a lot of my lessons on my channel as well.
Cool.
And lately, I've switched the focus to ball pythons now. And I'm not really worried about the monetization and stuff of that. I do eventually want to, make this ball python thing a hobby business, whatever. And I think that's a good way of just getting my face out there and people knowing who I am and hopefully trusting me.
Yeah, I think that's I think we got to come back to that in one of our other sections tonight, I think, because I agree with you. And I think it's one of the best ways to do that, especially for people to get to know you and showing a personality and who you are. And, sort of those principles we were talking about the last couple times on the show with building trust with clientele. What's the 403 fauna? I think everybody knows what fauna is, but even if not, but what's the 403 part?
403 is my classroom number. And,
okay.
This isn't my first foray into ball pythons. I was into it in between like 2008 and 2014. And back then I came up with the name Classroom Critters. I didn't really make stickers or anything like that, but that was my name back then. And I still kind of wanted to keep that classroom theme going. So 403, and it wasn't necessarily going to be strictly ball pythons. So I thought fauna, because that's the animal portion of that. So 403 fauna.
Oh, cool. I was going to ask you, because I saw in one of either your comments or Instagram somewhere I picked up, you had said that you just had your first clutch hatch in 7 years.
Yeah.
So what was the scope of your hobby 7 years ago? And what was the hobby like then? It's got to be a different world now.
Yeah, it's completely different. Back then, when I first got in, it was actually when I started teaching, I wanted to have animals in my classroom because my biology teacher had the same, and I'm actually in his classroom right now. And so back then I bought some reptiles magazines, and I saw bearded dragons and blue-tongued skinks, and I eventually got those and brought them into my classroom. But I think in 2002, there was an article by Nerd, and they were showing all the various morphs of ball pythons. And I was looking through that. I was like, I want this, I want this, I want this, pieds, clowns, pastels. And so I actually went online and found kingsnake.com, and the prices there were just $30,000 for a pied.
I was going to say, people were paying mortgages, not just mortgage payments, paying off mortgages with snakes.
Yeah, so there was no way I was going to afford it. So I bought a normal and kept that for several years. And then right around 2008, the prices started getting into a range that was affordable for me. And so I started getting into some of the simple codoms and went from there. I didn't really get into any of the expensive stuff. I did have albinos which weren't too bad, and some hypos, some ghosts. I had 2 successful clutches in 2012, and in 2014, I had 2 clutches, and then I moved into this house, and I moved during a heat wave, and the eggs just didn't survive. And at that time, I was married, but it didn't work out, and I was in some financial situations, so I had to sell off the collection then.
Sure.
But before that time, leopards and GHIs were starting to become the hot morphs. And when I got back in, one of the first things I wanted to get was leopard and GHI, which is very affordable now. So completely different then as it is now. And now with the community is so supportive, and it's just awesome being a part of it.
Yeah, I had 2 when I was in college, and I'm doing the math. I mean, it had to be 2001, 2002 that I bought those 2. And I remember at the time the pet store going, yeah, put them in the same cage, man. Let it rip. There you go. And so I did. And I don't know if they were male or female. I don't know anything. I was a typical college kid with snakes. And then when the time came to move from college, I had those 2 snakes, and I had a silver South American arowana as well in a tank. And I ended up taking them all to a pet store and just saying, I got to go. I can't take them with me. And now it makes me wonder, like, oh man, 19 years ago, what would I be doing now if I had kind of kept up with it?
Well, exactly.
Yeah, but that's a whole lifetime. Those are careers, jobs. Who knows what would have come from it, So, we asked what was going on, and to get to the meat of the show. So, in the past week, if anybody has seen on my channel or on Instagram, I've had kind of a mystery of a clutch, and I'm not going to go too far into it because I'm actually tomorrow filming the next video that will come out post on Thursday about the clutch. But I'll tell you the quick version is I had a female banana, and she's a het ghost, and I wanted a clown project going, so I had a visual male clown, and I bred the male clown to this, and he was a clown pastel. So clown pastel to a banana het ghost, and I paired lock, and like nothing was happening. And really, it was my first time breeding. I was breeding some others as well, and I started to get antsy, and I was like, man, it's been months, nothing's happening. The season's about to pass me by. And I said, you know what? I got a super Mojave over here that is either het ghost or visual ghost. I can't tell because he blew out leucistic and he's white. So I was like, you know what? Let me put this in with her. And they locked. And I said, if he's the sire, I'll know because it'll have Mojave, and I'll have either Mojave ghosts or I'll have banana het clowns. Either way, I'm winning. I'm happy. This is going to be a cool clutch. Well, they hatch, and I'm cutting the eggs open. And this video is on my channel if you haven't seen it. I'm cutting the eggs open, and man, I don't know if it's because it's baby bananas. I don't know if it's because of the pastel combined with the baby banana. I'm telling you, all these bananas look ghost to me. They are pale. They're pasty. They're beautiful. And then I get to one, and it is like the same sort of texture, pale pastiness, and it's just boom, orange. It's orange like neon orange. And I'm going, well, there's the orange from the ghost right there. Boom, it's done. I know what's up. All the while, and I love that you're a science teacher, because the scientific method tells us you have to go where the evidence leads you. You can't just go with ideas in your mind. So there I'm going, oh, these are ghosts. Of course, this is just weird Mojave stuff that I'm looking at. Well, I'm posting these snakes. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm excited that they're ghosts. And I start getting comments. I don't see any Mojave. And then I'm getting comments, well, maybe that's Mojave and maybe that's not. And then everybody's coming up with this conjecture of it's a split clutch and there's this and that. And I was talking with Mark earlier, and I don't want to get too nerdy here, but there's something called Occam's razor. And Mark, you can correct me if I mess this up. But basically, Occam's razor says the simplest, most obvious answer is often the correct answer, and it's usually what you want to go with. So looking at it that way, the simplest, most obvious answer became that there was one father and maybe there was something else going on that I don't know about. So that's where I'll set the stage for tomorrow. But I'll show you there's two outliers, and this is one of them. So I'm going to show you the one outlier, and then I'll post the video. I'm going to film it tomorrow. I'll post it Thursday. And real quick, a bunch of cool people just came on. Drew, I didn't say hello to you. Welcome back, Drew. I'm glad to have you. You're not late, man. You're here. Same, Phil. Same to you. Jeremy at Baud's Exotic Reptiles. Thank you for being here. Jeremy, give me your opinion, man, of anybody in the room. I think you probably got the most experience and certainly carry a lot of weight, in my opinion, anyhow. And by the way, anybody that's got a channel or an Instagram or anything that you want to drop in the comments, by all means, I'm not going to get offended. You type whatever you want in there. You guys are supporting me by being here. So by all means, get yourself a piece of the pie too. So this is for sure a banana. Outside of that, I want some ideas. Let me get the camera focused and look at the oranges in this thing. They are just electric. And it's almost hard because there's not a frame of reference with its siblings. But let me just tell you, it just stands out. Those the dark patches are this just dark purple color. And I'll tell you now, I'm not even going to tell you what I think. I'll tell you generally what I think. What I think is that there ended up being another codom in the clown, and that is passed on to this little guy here. So I think he's a banana plus one other codom. Het clown is what I think. I don't see any Mojave in there.
Yeah, I don't see Mojave either.
You know, when you start dealing with hets, you want to tell yourself, well, weird things can happen. Maybe there's Mojave, and maybe it looks different because of this or that. But again, I think that's overcomplicating it. So we're going to pick these apart under proper lighting and proper focus. There we go. Proper focus on the video that's going to come out on Thursday. So that's what's going on in my world right now.
You know, on the bright side, it's het clown. Can't go wrong with het clowns.
Yeah, well, I think so. Like I say, I mean, if Mojave is not there, then it is het clown, and I'm quite sure that that's probably the case. You know, John Inkelline, your OD point is really, really well taken, and I don't think it's OD because of the clown, but there's an outlying chance that the mom has another OD or has a another codom in it as well, which means that maybe there's Pastel, Banana, and two others in the clutch as well. I'm going to go through that tomorrow. Jeremy, I got no freckles on any of them yet, but that's just the first. It is literally just the first shed, and they actually haven't even eaten yet. So I'm trying not to handle them too much. I did go with one round of hopper mice, and none of them took it just yet. So I'm just letting them be. John, I don't think you're way off. I do think it's a possibility that the mother might have Orange Dream in her, but that's not my sort of rabbit hole just yet. Drew says I'm the chillest content creator ever. I don't know what that means, but I will keep it up. It's who I am. So, guys, give me 10 seconds. And Mark, if you want to pull some animals, you want to show off, I'm going to get this little guy back to the hatchling rack because it's about 10 degrees too cold here in the garage outside of the snake room.
Yeah, since Adam showed off a banana, I'd like to show you off, or I would like to show off a banana too. This one's a little bit different. Of course, it does have banana. If you watch my channel, you're probably familiar with it. But this is a banana black pastel VPI axanthic. And the VPI axanthic is just really interesting with this combo because it just kind of subdues the yellow color. Because the black pastel bananas, they're like super incredible contrast and everything. And the VPI just kind of like mutes it, makes it lighter. So Adam, this is banana black pastel VPI axanthic.
I'm so glad you're showing that snake. Hang on a second. Let me get you the bigger picture here. Nope, not that one. Hey, oh, now I just cut you out altogether. Here we go. Let me figure out how to make you big real quick. Solo. There you go.
There we go.
You
So
posted that picture, man. That thing is unreal. Didn't have a clue what VPI would do to a banana. That's killer.
yeah, and you know, with the black pastel, it really just makes the freckles crazy. And some people like freckles in bananas, some people don't. So you could either go Enchi, which gives it no freckles, or black pastel, which just makes the freckles go crazy. So either way, whatever you like. That's the great thing about ball pythons, is that there's so much variety. You're going to find something that suits your tastes.
Yeah, that is killer. Now, and I missed it. Is that a male or female you have there?
This is a male.
It's male.
And, yeah.
And what do you have going on for him? Any specific plans, or you just collecting as you go kind of thing?
You know, when I first got in, VPI was going to be my main focus. VPI xanthic, but as you know, as any ball python keeper,
That's right.
Change over time, right? And so this guy, he hasn't been the greatest eater, so I'm kind of gonna just put him on the shelf right now and just admire him for what he is, and no real plans for him yet.
Yeah. And now, how big is he? He's got to be what, 800,000 grams?
No, this guy's probably like 400 to 500 grams. He's not that.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, a little depth of scale there. Okay.
Yeah. Gotcha. I just wanted to compare it with your banana and just show you guys a difference in morphs if you mix things in with them.
Yeah, no, that is killer. I've never seen that combo before until just the other day when I saw it on your channel. And I'm sorry to backtrack for just a second. Guys, in the comments, if any of you all saw Mojave and that snake, let me know. Like, I want to talk about it if we did. I don't think it's there, but I don't want to spoil the vote either. Because if it's not Mojave, then it is Het Clown, and its siblings are Het Clown as well. So that's what I'm chipping away at on. And I've got it on threads in like 3 or 4 Facebook groups. A Morph Market community thread is on it. And then some of my videos and stuff too. So I'm excited for it. I am only going to keep 2 from that clutch. So if anybody's in love with those, let me know. You can, we can start setting up some discussions on some of the siblings. So what else you got for us, Mark?
You know, since we're on the VPI trip right now, let me share with you what got me started with the VPI train of thought here. So I mentioned earlier how when I was getting out of the hobby, GHI and leopard were the hot thing. Yeah. And so one of the first animals I got was GHI and leopard. I did a search on Morph Market with those traits, and this guy came out. He's pretty crazy. So this is, let me think here. It's Pastel, Mojave, Leopard, GHI, and he also is Het for VPI xanthic.
Boom.
And 50% chance of piebald. And he kind of does have a ringer towards the tail here.
Yeah.
And does have those tracks. So I'm thinking that pied will prove out, especially how wacky the pattern is. And yeah, this guy's one of my first purchases back into ball pythons, and I wanted to get him a female, so I was searching for a VPI xanthic pied on Morph Market. Of course, they're way out of my price range, so I was looking for heads. And on Outback Reptiles, they had a VPI xanthic het pied. And if you're familiar with Outback, they do have a website. And on their Morph Market says, go to our website and order from there. So I did. I went there. I bought it. I ordered it. And then I got a message back that he was sold right, or she was sold right before you got there. So, yeah. So I didn't have the girl that I wanted for this guy. So they were asking me, is there anything else you want? And there was an Anticlown on there. I said, let me get that Anticlown because it was the same price. And they messaged back, oh, I'm sorry, it just sold. Oh. So I was getting frustrated, and I started making these combos of, 2 or 3 snakes that would equal the price that I originally paid. And then eventually they got back to me and said, hey, that Anticlown is available. And I said, yeah, give me that Anticlown. So
Cool.
I got the Anticlown. I actually have her here with me now too, just to kind of end this story.
Okay.
But
and hey, before we go away from that particular one, first off, what a killer combo, man. You could breed that to anything and you got a whole slew of projects started.
Yep.
You should he's a great dude. Did you catch any of the episodes when Kai was on with me from Lucas Landon Royals?
Yep.
Yeah. Kai deals in, he's doing a lot of Pides Anthic stuff. You might, I don't know, you might talk to him or reach out to him and just see if he's got any, depending on what age you want to go kind of thing. I don't know.
Yep.
But so, he's a good dude, I'll tell you that much.
Definitely. So this is another thing how plans change because of, little things like that. And so I got the Anticlown, and I actually brought her here too. And this girl's a monster. I got her at maybe 150 grams in, I think, November of last year. And she is now at 1,500 grams.
Yeah.
Is just a monster, and she probably will go for me this year, I'm hoping.
So, I hope so too, man.
She's actually going to get paired with a Pinstripe Desert Ghost, 66% possible het clown. So I'm hoping it proves out for clown. And, just going back to that theme of how things change over time, that one little mistake led me in a completely different direction. And now I pretty much want to do Desert Ghost everything. So, but clowns are awesome. I love them.
Yep. Yeah, no, there's Kai right there. What's up, Kai? You're like the candy man. We say your name and poof, there he shows up, man. Kai, we were just talking about Axanthic hides, and maybe that you might know somebody with a stash of either het pied, het Axanthics, or visual one or the other and het the other. So anyhow, who knows? Somebody might get in touch with you. So, Mark, give us some of the stats. What's your collection at? What's in your breeding stock? I know you got a couple babies we got to talk about as well, but what's kind of your stash of snakes right now?
So I'm at 26, including the 2 babies that I just hatched out. I did just sell one of the yellow bellies, so let's call it 25.
Okay.
And as far as breeders, since it's technically my first year, I'm probably planning on 5 breedings this year. Let's see how many go though.
Good for you.
But yeah, 25. I'm actually gonna cut it off right there because I don't want to get too overwhelmed right now, and just work with what I got, just grow them out and go from there.
Yeah. Speaking of Kai, we were talking about the pace that you scale at, not you personally, the pace that one scales at, and being careful not to outscale or outsize our patients' ability, logistical efficiencies, day jobs. We can't go losing our day jobs because we breed, 30 babies on a whim kind of deal. Yeah, I'm experiencing a little bit of that myself. Not bad, but balancing work, life, family, kids, all that stuff. So I'm not complaining. I'm thrilled that I'm able to do that.
Yeah, I know most of my projects are all double hets, and if you're going to foray into the double het territory, you're going to have a lot of holdbacks, and eventually your collection is going to go from 25 to 100 overnight. And I know you're working on a lot of double hets as well. I did have a question about your projects.
Yeah.
I know you recently got a candy. What's your plans with that candy?
So to take the big picture view of it, so in my collection, you're right. I've wanted to focus on recessives for no specific reason other than I want to. Some people like Camaros and some people like Harley Davidsons, and I like recessive genes. From a genetic standpoint, I find them really cool. I know this is sacrilege to say, but just the crazy visuals are awesome. And of course, that's the end result that we're all going after. But the journey to get there is incredibly exciting to me. I can't quite explain it properly, but that plays into the recessive stuff. So what I'm trying to do is everything that I breed, I want to get to a point where everything I breed, I don't have any possible, not don't have any. I want to have at least one 100% het. Then if there's possibles on top of it. So both from a project standpoint, that excites me and something I'm passionate about. And from a business standpoint, it's a heck of a lot easier to make money and funding the business or funding, not we're running 3 businesses, but funding 1 or 2, to be able to say for sure, just like I was hopefully saying with the hatchling I just had out, if I know it's het clown or if I know it's het ghost, at least I can tell somebody and protect a reputation and deliver what I commit to and all of that. So that's kind of the outlook. I think recessives are just totally cool, and I want to get them in as many things as possible. So the candy, man, I'm blown. Oh, speaking, we get these themes. I just called Kai the Candy Man. So we, this candy came up, and I think I probably told this story, but the candy came up on a local Craigslist, which I know is cringeworthy in and of itself, but if somebody's going to get it, I may as well take a look at it, right? And man, I'd only seen pictures of candy, but they are gorgeous in person, man. Holy cow, they are clean. Obviously, there's no spots because they're not bananas, but man, I can't. They're almost like a tie-dye quality of how their colors flow into each other. Man, it's really beautiful. So I didn't buy the candy with any real specific outlook. I'm a sucker for pieds. I'm a sucker for clown. So let's just go candy clown, candy pied. That's going to be amazing. I was talking with maybe it was Kai. I was talking with somebody, between lavender and candy, getting those into a VPI project to really, really bring out the silver and the black is going to be incredible. So I just kind of want to see where it goes, and I'm kind of still building my stock. I've got kind of 18 keepers, as I call them, for right now, and then I've got 30. No, I don't. I have 15 babies this season right now, and I'll probably hold back 4 of those. So I am sorry. You got to interrupt me if I'm running over the conversation. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, is where I'm at. You and I are almost physically as far apart as we could be in the continental United States, I think.
No, I was just wondering because it's been my mug on the YouTube this whole time, and we want to see your pretty face too.
Oh, geez, that's where I'm at. Yeah. There we go. All right. That's why I need. That's another reason I need guests, man. I need people to keep me straight on here. All right, I get it. Yeah, so I'm just talking over your face. Fantastic.
But you know what? You're so right on candies. They're amazing. I know you did a video on lavender versus candy, and seriously, I would pick candy over lavender any day of the week. They are just incredible.
Well, thank you. And I did a video too. So I did some shorts on like the lavender and the candy and this like comparative thing. And then I did a kind of a traditional YouTube video where I actually think right now candy is a better investment than lavender, even though lavender has kind of gotten all the rage. If you look at the market and kind of the cool things you can do, and of course all of it's cool, man. It's just who's to say one gene's cooler than another? It's just what's hot at any time and what speaks to anybody. So I don't know for sure. I want to brighten the candy if I can. So I'm a huge Orange Dream fan. I've got a really cool Orange Dream stud and some cool holdbacks that are coming from a different clutch with Orange Dream. So I'll probably start working some of those in, and again, building 100% hets, double hets, and then hopefully starting to see some visuals sooner than later. I hope is my goal on it.
How about Ultramel versus Monarch? Are you on a side with those?
No, I'm not on a side because I have no clue on either one. I know Ultramels are smoking hot right now, and I'm really frustrated because I missed on a pied clutch, and I had a trade set up for if I hit a visual. Oh, nice. What's this one's name?
He's got a little cough going on right now. I'm actually going to put him away real fast, if you don't mind.
Okay. Yeah, Jeremy, I'm with you, man. Oh, you're going for the triple on that candy pied clowns. How far out are you on the? So you got the candy pieds already. So you got a couple generations of breeding with the clown. So you got 3 years before you can take a stab at it, and then you have to see if you can actually hit the triple, huh? So Jeremy Bod, he was saying he picked up a pair of candy pieds, and I was just doing the math, thinking out loud because it dawned on me that's a triple visual that he's working on: candy, pied, and clowns. So candy pied to clowns is going to make the triple recessives. Those both got to grow up because you need a male and female that's triple, and you put those together. And what's the triple odds? 1 in 216?
Yeah, that's crazy. Head to head. Man.
Yeah, I don't know. My head hurts. I can't do that right now.
That'll be an amazing snake. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody will chime in on the odds, but they're lottery odds, man. That's killer though. That's awesome. Okay, so Ultramel, I had a deal in place that when I hatched an orange dream pied, that I would make a trade for a set of double het Ultramel clowns. Kai says 1 in 32. Triple het to triple het is 1 in 32, huh? That's better odds than I thought. Hell of a lot better than 216. Okay. Huh. But I don't have that pied to trade for those double hets with the Ultramel project. So I'm actually working on just trying to buy them outright, but I got to talk to the guy and sort out how I can do it. But I'll admit my ignorance. I know nothing about Monarch. I couldn't tell you. So what's the relationship between Ultramel and Monarch? Talk us through that then.
They're just two different lines of the, what is it, T positive albino. And
okay,
I don't think anything has really been done as far as combining the two and to see if they're like candy and albino to make a candino.
Yeah.
But I know the Monarch. Did you see the Justin Kabilka video on monarchs? Mm-hmm. I find the adult monarchs to be really beautiful. The combos that I've seen with Monarch, I'll admit the Ultramel combos are better, but just the straight up comparing Ultramel and Monarch, I personally like the single gene Monarch better than Ultramel, but the combos with Ultramel beat the Monarch. I do have Ultramel in my collection, so I'm going that direction, but I did look at Monarchs from MSB Reptiles, Miri. Mm-hmm. I looked at what she had to offer because I did pick up Static and Hurricane, and I was looking for a color changer for those codons, and I looked into Monarch, and I don't know, it might be something I get into in the future, but I do have Ultramel in my collection.
Nice. So you've got so I got to say hey to my buddy Jay Spry. That guy, man, I'm so happy to see you, Jay. Thanks for coming by, man. I'll spare everybody life stories with Jay, but that's a special dude. So what codoms do you have, or in general? Because you got some heavy hitters. You're talking about Hurricanes. You were talking about what's kind of your high end babies that you got.
Well, the Hurricane, Gray's Reptiles is local to me, and I saw he posted that Hurricane, and I honestly was never thinking about Hurricane, but I figure a local guy, support him, and it's an awesome morph. So I did pick up a female Hurricane, and I'm thinking I'll put Desert Ghost into it because you can't go wrong with Desert Ghost. Desert Ghost everything.
No, you can't.
I recently did pick up a Pastel Static. Now Static is basically acid static confusion. I did all the research before I bought it. I looked at every single one that has been available on Morph Market, and honestly, they're all the same thing. And I picked up a Pastel Static. She's currently in shed right now. She's not looking her best, but actually, I'll pull her out just because her pattern is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think I saw it recently posted, or maybe I went back on your Instagram. I'm not sure when I was getting ready for the show, but I have seen it. It's a great snake, man.
Yeah. Yeah, she's really deep in blue right now, but what Pastel does with it is pretty incredible. It creates all these dots and bubbles. Let me see if I could figure this out. But in the pattern, with the usual static acid confusion, it's more banded and clean, but Pastel really makes all these dots on it, and it works. It's one of the combos that Pastel works well with, is the acid static confusion. But I still don't have quite the plan yet for her, but I wanted to get into maybe like an upper echelon Kodam, and maybe Clown. Can't go wrong with Clown either. So pretty excited about that one too.
Yeah. And how old's she? You got what? Obviously at least a year or two on that one though.
Yeah, she's just like 200 grams maybe, so still got a while.
Gotcha.
I got time to figure it out.
You do. It's a cool snake, and you'll figure it out 9 times over in a year or two.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. So Kai is updated now. He says triple head to triple head is 1 in 64. So I was still off of 216, but we're getting closer to my answer. And then, Jeremy, I do these and for everybody else, I do these every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So wherever that lands, wherever you are in the country and in the world, every Tuesday, 8 p.m. East, 5 on the West. So
you need to get Jeremy on, because I do watch his videos as well, and yeah, he's got a great collection.
Well, he told me I sent him this long rambling note on Instagram, and he replied back, anytime. And I was like, sweet. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to take you up on it. So Jeremy, you're going to hear from me soon, man. So, hey, one of the topics I was kicking around that I just figured I would throw out there, and that I've really been kind of embracing lately, is this idea of the little guy. And I don't mean it as in you and I are little guys or less significant than anybody. And matter of fact, I mean quite the opposite. I mean that all of the guys like you and I are the ones that keep the hobby afloat, because if it were just the top dogs trading snakes, that wouldn't be a business. That would truly be a hobby. That'd just be a swap meet. So I really love the idea I love it so much I started doing this live stream so that I can hang out, but I love the idea of little guys, for lack of a better word, hanging out, figuring things out, showing off, hey, I got a question here, and there's an audience of 11. This new book kick that I'm on, the author argues that you give 2 amateurs the same problem that you give 1 expert, and the 2 amateurs will probably come up with at least a workable solution, if not a workable solution that the expert would have never thought of, because they're so set in their ways. And I love that idea. I mean, it's a great equalizer. It's a great opportunity. And yeah, like John just says here, the big guys can't survive without us. And it's almost like any good corporation, any good, not school, you got to have a great teacher at the top. But so in my career, in my restaurants, I would have a team of 50 or 70 guys and women at the height of the season. Lord knows they didn't need me walking around in a suit to make their money and to run the restaurant. The restaurant would have run just fine without me there on any given night. So I love the idea of community. I love that it's not about power. It's that we have a say and that we do matter. And guys like us dreaming in a converted garage with a turtle, or a converted garage with this desk and then a snake room that I'm pointing at, like you all can see. I just like the idea of it, man. I like that here we are, this sort of merry band of amateurs figuring it out. And then there's dudes like Kai, and there's guys like Jeremy Bod, and probably some other people that I don't even know that are sitting here watching this, that I'm just humbled to even have in the room. And those guys are ahead of us too, so that's really cool that we can learn from those guys. So I'm really thankful for this, is what I'm trying to say. So what's the combo that 5 years down the line that's in your room right now that you haven't created yet? What's your Babe Ruth shot that you're calling?
Well, I got a shot this year of VPI Axanthic puzzles. Visuals. I got a shot. It's a 1 in 16. I got double het, male and female, ready to go. Well, the female, hopefully. So I'm hoping within this season I'll have VPI Axanthic puzzles. But
Oh,
I'm really shooting for the Desert Ghost Clown also. So within 5 years, hopefully I'll have that. And my other major double het project is the Hypopide. I should hit that. I've got good odds to hit that next season.
man, that's fantastic. I'm jealous of your recessive projects. I feel like now I got teed up. You're like, tell me about your recessives, and you're like, You're like the dude with the cat. You're like, yeah. How about my Desert Ghost? No, it's awesome, man. Have you started pairing those yet, or you're just getting into that?
We just had a thunderstorm last week, and I did some pairings, but I didn't see any locks on any of them yet. They're still young, and they might not even go this year, but there's a small chance that I'll have that. What was I thinking? Oh, I was looking on. I just wanted to veer off on this topic a little bit because it just reminded me of it. But I was looking on Morph Market today at prices, and I don't know if you've noticed the prices have been going up. Like I have a Pastel double het puzzle BPI Xanthic, and I got it for a really good deal. It was a sub-adult already too, from a big breeder, so I do trust the genetics on it. And I was looking for online today prices, and they're like double of what I paid for it just a few months ago. So
I feel like, and I could be wrong, because I felt like I saw something like this last year. I feel like right heading into breeding season, and I put that in quotes because I know a lot of people breed year round. And honestly, actually my Instagram post in the morning is going to be one of my girls bull wrapping. And it's like, oh, I didn't think it was time yet, but here we go. Like it's time then. So I say season in quotes because we can kind of create the seasons as we need. But I feel like coming right up and into breeding season, we see a price kind of jump. And I realized that you said it was a sub-adult, and maybe that probably trickles down. But I think maybe it trickles down. So if people see the adults go up, then they price things relative to what the adults are. And something else, this from a business standpoint, let's just take snakes out of it for a second. I've learned from this hobby and from doing these shows and just this whole experiment in my life, there is an audience and a market for almost anything. I mean, there's a sustainable market for nearly anything in this day and age if you can reach the right people. Because I don't think we can get, as a human, I can't get my head around the sheer vast quantity of people on YouTube or on the internet. We know it's huge, but does anybody really comprehend the difference between 1 million of something and 10 million and 100 million and 1 billion of something? Like, we don't have those frames of reference that I can get my head around very well. And truth be told, if there's 40,000 of us playing and with ball pythons for fun, we can reach that number like that. And YouTube already knows who we all are. It's already putting us all in touch with each other. Here we go, So it's just these kind of huge aha moments. Go ahead.
During the pandemic year, it seems like everybody was just looking for ways to make money, and there was these micro economies all over the place with like Pokemon cards and old video games, ball pythons, and the prices on everything just rose like crazy. And I don't know if you watched the Millionaire Breeder series from Ozzy Boyd's.
I do from time to time, yeah. Yep.
He brought up that ball pythons are basically like a legal pyramid scheme with, breeders on top. And this goes back to us, the little guys on the bottom.
That's
and
right.
How everybody above needs our input. So it's just a matter of us, if you want to make it a business, as climbing that pyramid. And yeah, there's money to be made, whether it's ball pythons or baseball cards or whatever.
It's crazy. Yeah, my son's really into, he's 9. He's not really into anything, but he's into Pokemon cards. And yeah, I get looking. There's dudes with 10 million subscribers talking about Pokemon cards. And I'm like, okay, I had no idea, no earthly clue. Funny, that's the same. Go ahead.
I think Mutation Creation is getting into the Pokemon cards. We talked about it on their live the other day that they're going to do an opening on their live. And it's just crazy. It's nuts.
we were talking offline, and we're not going to go down this rabbit hole for right now unless somebody just goes crazy for it. But that whole NFT project that I'm working on, the vessel for the NFT, I was like, because I'm a lot of things, but I'm not an artist. I'm not a visual artist. And so I was talking to my son who's into these, Pokemon cards, but and the ball pythons. And he's like, what if we made a ball python Pokemon card? And I was like, you're going to draw it? He's like, yeah. I was like, there it is. There's the NFT. We drew.
That would be cool. Yeah.
But it's what they are. We drew two little like to the moon rockets for the whole crypto thing. And then a little ball python he drew. And then I just put it into the photo editor and slapped a 1 on it. And I made the first one black and white. And I was going to snap my fingers. It wasn't fast, but 3 months later it sold. And it's like, all
cool.
right. So now I've released the second series, number 2 through number 5. If anybody's really interested, the link is in the description.
That's a great idea. Someone needs to do ball python trading cards with all the crazy morphs that we have. Can you imagine all the just cards with the descriptions and a really great picture on it? I'd buy all these.
I know that I'm the junkie trying to push NFTs in this crazy world, and everybody's going, what the hell is an NFT? But that's what you could do with it. You could have an NFT of every snake that you produce, and it would have a digital contract guaranteeing the genetics. So you could trade and sell that snake attached to that NFT. And if none of that makes sense, that's okay, because you can watch other videos. I don't mean that to you personally, but to anybody watching. But I would bet money that we start seeing Miguel or Justin or Mike Wilbanks offering that in the next 2 to 5 years as part of like a premium line of their snakes, as if their snakes aren't already premium. Like they have the power to move the market that way. But that's truly what I believe. And anyhow, if I'm wrong, I'll just be this crazy dude that had that one episode one time. But if I'm right, I'll be like, I told you all, you heard it here. It's coming, man.
Yeah. So, just a while ago, we all thought people were crazy for this Bitcoin stuff, right? And now it's huge.
Yeah, it is huge. It's so huge that I think it's part of the future. I don't know if it's the future, but I don't think it's going away. I think that it will exist in some way, shape, or form. Man, sorry, I got all off track there. So we were talking about prices. Jeremy back there a little bit ago said he just sees nothing but demand and nothing but prices going up right now. And it's easy to say in any market, there's going to be ups and downs, and there will be. Inevitably, there will be. But even there's a new economy, even just in our everyday world, like the American economy. We're on a boom we haven't been on, and that's through, and I don't want to get into politics, but that is through 2 vastly different administrations. I think we can all agree that they're vastly different. And frankly, it's coming out of the third back vastly different administration. So like, I think this world of stability and insight and data and metrics and knowing each other and knowing what people, we know a heck of a lot more about, we personally might not, but we can find out more about each other. We're more predictable than we've ever been. And I think that's going to be a stabilizing force that will drive economies up. Anyway, we've lost the ball python thread, and I apologize for that. So what new content you got coming out? What's coming up next?
Okay, so I promised my subscribers that at 300, I'm going to jump in the pond with Porkins.
I did see that. Have you fulfilled that promise yet?
Look for the video this weekend. I haven't done it yet, but I will be filming that this week. And it's been my lifelong dream to swim with them. And
you've never fulfilled it? Like, you're never just like, man, I've had a couple beers, I'm jumping in with the turtle. Like turtle saunas, you're never just like chilling with the turtle?
Nope. But
no, okay.
I had a student recommend, Mr. Jensen, put on a mermaid outfit when you jump in. And I want to have fun with it. I'm not going to go with a mermaid, but I'll try to have fun with it. So stay tuned for that.
No, you got to. You have to do that. Hey, how old are you? What grade students do you teach?
I teach chemistry this year. I teach both chemistry and biology. Biology is 9th grade, but this year I'm teaching all chemistry, which is mainly 10th graders. But I do have a mix from 10th through 12th.
Okay.
But high school, I teach all 9th through 12th.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. Yeah.
And it's been pretty tough getting back after the pandemic. And you could see the gap that the children have from missing a year of school. And it's probably going to filter out throughout the years until this generation passes on to be adulthood. So it's been kind of difficult. Hopefully things do calm down more.
Well, I hope that they do. And again, one thing I love about a ball python channel is that we don't really get pissed about anything in the world of ball pythons, so I don't want to go to unhealthy places for us, but I do wish you the best of health. I do wish you the best of support, and also mental health for teachers. Both my wife and I have a background in education that I never pursued, and that she's veered into a private sector of education with she works for a company that works with heavily dyslexic children. So she does that versus the school system and hands-on, more traditional education. It's challenging out there, and I'm for whatever it's worth, I'm pulling for the teachers, and I try and make a difference in how I treat my child's teachers. So I'll just leave it there for now. If any of that makes sense, what I'm saying is thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course. So on my channel, everybody, this week I got the clutch reviews and kind of the mystery basket of the banana clutch. The banana is not in the mystery. And on the good side, out of 8 snakes, I hit 6 were bananas, which, if you like bananas, that's where it's at. So that was real cool for me. But we're gonna pick apart that mystery and try and see if we could solve the one extra codom, and see if we think there's a second extra codom. I've got 2 outliers, and I can't figure out if they're overlapping or they're 2 separate things.
What were the sexes on the bananas? Was it a male maker, female maker, or?
That was a female, so it's
Okay,
males and females. But all of the males will be female makers as well. So 100% het clown, 50% het ghost, females or female makers. I'm pumped whatever comes out of the rest of it. It's nice, cool clutch. The rest of the way. Yeah, I'm happy with it. So we got those, and then my busted pied clutch. My thumbnail this week was all dramatic. I was holding scissors and screaming behind it, out of focus, because I hit no pieds and went head to head and got nothing at all. But those, I do have some really cool orange streams in there. And there's one of them that is just off the charts OD versus the others. So we're going to take a look at that one, and that'll definitely be a holdback, but we'll take those. Haven't shed yet. So that's what's coming up on my content. So Mark, give us the socials that you're on. Where can people find you?
I'm pretty much on everything. Instagram is the big one, of course. Facebook, I do have a page, but I've never really updated it. Facebook's a little weird. When I first got back into ball pythons, I was in a Facebook group, and I just got a whiff of that toxicity, and it really hasn't encouraged me to update my Facebook. But I do have a TikTok too. But basically, everything I post on my Instagram gets posted on a TikTok, so there's no reason to follow both. But yeah.
Gotcha. And then, of course, YouTube.
Yes, YouTube.
All right. So what's your, I can't remember if we were talking off the air or on the air about it. What's your sort of funnel? What's your sort of purpose on the social medias? What's kind of your baby? What's your secondary project? And how do you see them all fit together?
Now, with Instagram, I know it's just basically getting myself out there. The Instagram reptile community is huge, and it's very supportive. And in just a few months, I'm already at 1,000 followers.
I was going to say, you're up over 1,000 on there. I think you're like 13, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy. As long as you post that content, you'll get those followers. I'm really big on posting the reels. Is it Reels. Is that what it's called on Instagram?
Yeah,
The
on
Instagram
Instagram,
Reels.
it's the Reels. Yeah.
And those get thousands of views. Like the reel I posted for to promo our episode here got over 2,000 views in less than a day. So if you're not on those Instagram Reels, do those Reels because they get a lot of views. I think JP Reptiles was the one who recommended that, and yeah, it definitely does work. Also, the YouTube Shorts too. I remember back when Derek's Reptiles, he used to just hang out with BPL and he'd be in the background at his work.
That's where we met. That's right. We were in the BPL. We were hanging out with BPL stuff too. Yeah.
And Derek was talking about shorts. And so I posted a short and 10,000 views on tokens. So the Reels, the shorts, the TikToks, and they're all pretty much the same thing. If you could get on those, it'll put you out there a lot. I don't know how the algorithm works, but they work really well with the Reels.
So what I found, to flip the question on me, my focus has been YouTube, and all the others are sort of funnel into YouTube. I enjoy the YouTube platform. I feel like maybe it's just because I like to talk and ramble, but I feel like it allows me for a higher level of engagement, and I think it allows for a deeper connection on the user end, but I really don't know that, but I think so. So like, I'm with you on Instagram. It's just sort of throwing out content, and it's sort of the bait in the water, and then hopefully I hook them on YouTube if I can convert them over there. So what I found on YouTube anyhow is the Reels reach a ton of people, and they reach a ton of new people. So like my I call it traditional, the traditional YouTube video, the 6, 8, 10 minute deal, that builds my watch hours. And that's kind of like my sort of personal journal that I keep up, sort of a relationship with the viewers kind of thing is how I envision it. But the Reels are just casting a long line and seeing what I get in touch with. And I find that I can get new subscribers if a reel will hit, and it usually takes like 2 days. Like, it's not instant gratification. It's like there, and it dips, and it's little blips, and then it's just rocket ship, like you say, the 10,000 thing. So I like doing those reels, and then this live stream is a way for me to really deeply connect with people. And again, there's people like Stephen and Courtney at Leviathan, Jeremy that's here every night. Oh man, one of your students came. You gotta give a little shout out there. Do you see her? Hang on a second. There we go.
Annie, okay. She's a student at Montgomery. She's not my current student, but she sells me vegetables. So thank you very much for dropping by, Annie. Appreciate it.
Annie, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it as well. So that's sort of like my model on YouTube, like get them or reach new people with the shorts, keep them engaged, and kind of keep my own passion flowing with the traditional video. And then this live stream is it's great for watch hours, because that's one of the metrics that you kind of have to keep up as you're growing, particularly for any monetization, which is just sort of another benchmark. I feel like it's going to be a letdown. I feel like when you get to monetization, it's like $6 a month, so it's not really it's more of a professional goal, or that I want to treat this professionally and understand it. I've been using it in my day job as well. And then Instagram, I'm doing to mostly just learn about Instagram. I'm actually writing a report for work on a proposal for an advertising scheme through Instagram versus traditional things that would make Annie roll her eyes on, like print. Like, we still spend $16,000 a year on print ads. You know how far we can make $16,000 go on the internet? I mean, it's unreal, And then, so check this out. John Inkeline and Courtney and Stephen, I'm not sure who's typing for Leviathan Snakes, but that's Courtney and Stephen. They are marketing professionals, and Stephen is working on his doctorate degree in marketing. So we didn't talk specifically hashtags, but that's going to be a good topic for a future day. I don't fully understand them, other than I know that the people that follow a certain hashtag, then everybody sees it. So if you can get latched on with the proper hashtags, the proper SEO, and I use a tool called TubeBuddy actually to help guide my tags and guide my wording on all of my videos. I have this kind of process driven mind where if I do all the little things right over and over, the big right things start happening.
Yeah, I
I'll
want
let you know in
to
a year or two if it's true.
let me chime in on the hashtags with Leviathan. Yep. So true, because I follow the Desert Ghost hashtag, and every time a Desert Ghost picture pops up, I like it. I click on it to see their page if I'm following them yet. If I'm not, I follow them. So yeah, hashtag super important. And you just recently got on Instagram, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Only a month ago, maybe. Hey, Jeremy, thanks for coming, man. We'll connect real soon. I'd love to have you on the show. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I just got on it because I was, I see TikTok. I see TikTok as a future. I don't know if it's the future. And here's why I say that. Instagram, that's owned by Facebook, changed their model, i.e. Reels, because of TikTok. And if YouTube, that's owned by Google, changed their model with Shorts because of TikTok, then TikTok is a bad shut your mouth, as they used to say. Like that is, TikTok is doing something and disrupting things. So I was really kind of focusing on trying to understand and get traction on TikTok. But when I say get traction, I mostly mean that I wanted to understand it. This is all like transferable skills to advertising in my other career. So, or in my career, not my other career, in my career. So it's a neat avenue that I get to do it through ball pythons that I love. But yeah, Instagram's the newest venture. So I put all kinds of random stuff up there, reels, pictures, live show advertisements. Like Tuesday afternoon at 5:00, I can tell you what's going to be on my Instagram. It's the promo for tonight. So I do one like 2 days ahead of time, and then I do one, oh yeah, that's right, got to be there in 2 hours kind of thing.
Stories are really important too. They allow you to see who watches your stuff. It's pretty cool seeing like, oh my gosh, Miguel Garcia looked at my story. So do stories. It's pretty cool. It works.
How do you, and maybe this is probably basic dummy knowledge for me, but how do you choose who the stories go to?
Story goes out to everyone who follows you. And it depends on whether they watch it or not. And if they watch it, their name pops up on a list.
Well, then there's going to be stories this week then. So my next, it's not even exactly social media. It's actually more of a business and community insurance. Is, as crazy as it sounds, I still think emails are incredibly important. And I don't mean that I want to flood people's emails boxes, but what I mean is from 1995 to now, I still have the same email address. Emails are this really deep identity that we have, and I don't think that they're going to go away. So I think an email list and an email connection of, even if it's a once a year, hey, thanks for the great year from Proper Royals, just something that, because we're talking about the hip TikTok, Instagram, Facebook world right now, but what about the MySpaces that were the biggest thing ever, and they're gone? They don't exist. And I know there's a ton of others that are gone, and there's a ton of others trying to get traction that will come or they'll go. And I don't think that they're all that nefarious, but YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, those are borrowed platforms. We're not owed those. Those could go away instantly. Hell, we tried to outlaw TikTok at one point. So the email list to me is like the insurance card. If it all gets real weird, there's my own backstop. And again, if I can learn that and understand that angle, I can transfer that to my career, my business, my business endeavors, that sort of thing. So that's kind of my take on social media that I've seen, or what things I'm working on anyway.
Yeah, emails are not going to go away. You need them to sign up to websites and stuff. So, and I check them all out, even though I get a ton of spam too. So, yeah, don't forget about those emails.
No, yeah, let's see. Steven says, yeah, the opt-in, email is probably what we're most sensitive to when it comes to etiquette as well. Like you say, on Facebook, it's the wild west of jerks, man. No, there's no care or accountability. You make somebody mad on an email, you're blocked. You're done. You're out. You cannot reach those people ever again. So that's kind of the new thing it's not new. It's my new thing that I'm working on.
And punctuation is important too on emails, right? Like if you're sending a direct message, you're not putting periods or anything, not worried about spelling, but emails, you got to be on point with everything.
Yeah, there's this, like I say, it's almost this etiquette, like unspoken expectation of a higher level of professionalism. Doesn't even fully account for it, but professional etiquette, I would say.
Yep.
Yeah, Stephen, what's your favorite? Just give us a 1 or a 2, 3 word kind of direction. What's your favorite email list management or email campaign management beginner free or cheap thing that somebody like me could look at?
Is that at me or Leviathan?
Leviathan's sake. I mean, if yeah, I want anybody's input on this. Yeah.
Hey, you've always wanted to invite someone. Maybe invite them right now and have them join us.
Well, Steven and I have a bad habit of talking till midnight, like we did 2 weeks ago when he was on the show. I promised my wife I would kiss her goodnight tonight, so I got about 12 minutes left.
Okay.
No, Steven's been on a couple times. We'll definitely do it again. Pretty good buddies. Plus, I want to buy some new things one of these days. Phil, that's a good point and a good analogy on the handwritten letters analogy. Jay and I have run many restaurants together over the past decade, and not to dive too far into tooting anybody's horn, but we worked for some killer places, the PGA Tour being one of them, Mountaintop Resorts being another. And at the end of the day, these millionaires and billionaires, what gets them off the most is that handwritten note that somebody still took the time to care about them and to say thank you. And yeah, Phil, if we can convey that feeling into an email or a digital exchange or a verbal conversation between two people that have never met, is a really great thing. Stephen, I can't tonight. I swear to God, I've got to wrap up here in the next 10 minutes, and I cannot do it tonight. But let's get to it before before too long. So I know there was a delay and typing gets delayed. So he says, my favorite is HubSpot. They have a free version, but has limitations that make you want to pay for the better service. Well, that's the model. That's the winning model. That's how the world goes around these days. So HubSpot, I'm going to check it out. Thank you on that. And yeah, next time, you know what? We need to, I've never done like three or four people at once on the live stream. So in the next couple ones, we're gonna start bringing in some audience. Let's do that. That's what that'll be my next new challenge. So, Mark, take us home. What are we leaving with tonight? What's good in the world? What's your favorite thing you've seen? What do you want to leave us with tonight?
Man, you got to put me on the spot like that. Huh?
I know. I may as well, right? I got nothing to lose. We're ending the show.
Since this is a ball python show, I do have a ball python coming in tomorrow. It is a pastel blade, double het clown desert ghost, female.
Congratulations.
Showcase serpent. So hopefully it comes in. I gotta check my emails. It's probably been shipped already. So
do you have a picture you can you could share on the screen, or does that get complicated on? I don't know if you're on. I don't know what platform you're on there. At your
I could just show my phone if I have my morph market up, but yeah. Give me a second.
All right. So now that we're down to the last like 9 hangers on, which is awesome. The gene that I'm mostly convinced is in my clutch that I was working out is Blade as well, and I'd love to see the pattern on that Blade Pastel with the het clown in there. Oh, super clean, actually. Look at that for a pastel. That's great.
Yeah, you know what? I did do some research on Blade, and I watched a couple of videos on YouTube, and apparently it's very Enchi-like in that it's banded over from one side to the other, and the banding is very clean, very little dots to them. So,
yeah, see, and that's not what I'm seeing on mine. Although on a couple, that would only be the codon. There's no super. I don't think it's a super. So it's time to time. Jay, I'll talk to you soon, brother. I'll give you a call this week, man. Thank you for coming tonight. So, man, congratulations. That was a male or a female? I didn't catch that.
That's female.
Female coming tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah. Nice. All right, Mark. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Likewise, you're welcome back anytime. I'm sure you will on Instagram and on YouTube, but you got to let us know when you jump in with Porkins, the turtle back there, which is killer. Jay, thank you so much, man. I will see you soon, and I'll definitely see your family soon here local too. So stick around, everybody, for next episode every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Next week, I forgot, I should have been promoting this all along. Got a guy named Joe from Austin, and he's not huge on social media, but he's a heck of a ball python breeder. And he's actually, if you've seen my series of the coolest ball pythons in the world, my monthly series that I do, he is a former winner of the coolest ball python in the world. And this guy has bred and sold some 5-figure snakes. Now, he might not be huge, but the day I'm selling a 5-figure snake, I'm saying I'm freaking huge is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Phil, thank you for being here. I appreciate it too. We'll see you next Tuesday. John, thank you as always. I appreciate it. Steven, say hey to Courtney. I hope she's there as well tonight with you. We will catch up soon. And on that note, thank you, everybody. We're going to hit the music. Mark, stick around for just a minute, man.